Chapter 4. To Build a Fire. We didn't find help that day. We didn't make it back to the town of Pine House. We didn't seem to be getting anywhere. The sun was setting when we gave up paddling. We pulled the canoe onto the shore and tied it up. Dad was still out cold. Timmy and I were beat. "I thought you said," Timmy began. "Forget what I said," I shot back. "We're going against the current. We'll get back tomorrow, that's all." My brother said nothing. I thought he might cry, but he didn't. Instead, he bit his bottom lip and tried to help. Our first job was to drag Dad out of the canoe. I thought my back would break, but we got him onto land. Then we unpacked our gear and found a dry spot for the sleeping bags. We had left the tent behind, a mistake. Timmy went out to look for dry wood. I unwrapped my hands and stared at them. They were swollen and full of blisters. I've never paddled for a whole day before. Now my hands were raw and my muscles ached. Still, I was better off than my dad. I thought he might have a fever, but it was hard to tell. Half his head was a little purple bruise. The other half was pale, almost white. He looked bad. Sometimes he'd wake up and moan. Most of the time he was out cold. "Hang in there, Dad," I whispered. I knew he couldn't hear, but I went ahead. "We're going to make it. I promise you we're going to make it." Timmy came back with his arms full of wood. He made a pile and I found the matches. We had lots of waterproof matches, but we didn't have any dry paper to start the fire. "We need kindling," I said. "What's that?" Timmy asked. "Little pieces of wood to start the fire. We'll both go look. The best kindling is birch bark." We didn't find any, but we did get lots of small pine branches and dry needles. I found a knife and began cutting the pine into little bits. When the pile was ready, I tried to light it. A couple of pieces of bark flared up, and then the fire went out. "You don't have to blow on it?" Timmy asked. "Yeah, I forgot," I said. "How come it was so easy when Dad did it? We tried again. This time I blew the fire right out. Then one more try, and slowly the fire grew. We kept feeding it bigger branches, then blowing on the flames. At last we had a real but smoky fire." "Maybe someone will see the smoke," Timmy said. "Yeah, maybe." When I told Timmy to ditch half the food, he threw away the meat. That left us with bread, soup, peanut butter, and jelly. It wasn't much of a dinner. We heated up the soup, then ate it from the can. Then we toasted peanut butter sandwiches. They were better with jelly on top. At the end, we ate most of the cookies. By then, of course, we were beat. Timmy fell asleep with a cookie in his mouth. I put him in a sleeping bag. Then I looked around. This could be beautiful, I thought. If Dad were okay, if we weren't lost, if we were just camping out. But I was tired too. It was too late to tie our food up in the trees. Instead, I put the food in a pack and set it away for our camp. The bugs came out when the sun set. They were coming at me like dive bombers. I kept swatting at them when they landed on me. "Take that," I said, killing one. "And you too." But there were a million of them, and just one of me. I put a shirt over my dad and a blanket over Timmy. Then I climbed into my sleeping bag. I pulled a t-shirt over my face to keep off the bugs. Fat chance! The bugs kept biting right through the shirt. I tried to sleep. I wished I could be like Timmy. He just conked out, dead to the world. But not me. I heard sounds in the night. There were creaks and cricks and scratching sounds. Then I felt something on my ear. I reached up and there was a spider crawling on me. That made me sit right up, and the bugs were at me again. Sleep? What is that? I asked myself. The night was full of noises. The ground was full of things that crawled. The air was full of things that bite. My mind was full of everything. But somehow I must have fallen asleep. In the early morning I felt Timmy poking at me. "Connor, wake up," he whispered. Yeah, I replied. I blinked. The sun was just starting to rise over the lake. "I hear something," Timmy went on. Yeah, I mumbled. But then I heard it too. The sound was like scratching. It was like a very big cat scratching a couch, but there were no cats out here. "Did you hang up the food?" Timmy asked. I swore. That was answer enough. We both rolled over and looked into the woods. There was nothing there, but then a dark shape. "A bear?" Timmy asked. I couldn't tell for sure. "But what else could it be?" I whispered to Timmy. "We've got to get out of here, like fast." "How?" "Leave everything." I said. "We lift Dad, put him in the canoe, then push off." "Can bears swim?" Timmy asked. "I don't want to find out."